What's your name?
Small little city.
Oh my God. So now it's like, they're playing with like dancing to it. There's most of the guys who are excited. So it's like all these guys like walking up the tower and stuff. They have like all the shoes. There was always and it's like, hey, go on to the beach, let me know. And I haven't gone to it. They didn't know, like, they asked me about it, and they're like, oh, we trust them. Yeah. And they're like, so why don't you have it really? No. Some people
Yeah.
Let's try. But yeah,
Are those tables going to stay over there or no?
No, that table's gonna be basically we cleared it up because it goes back.
Right.
You here for Poetics?
Yes.
Sweet. Cool. Would you mind helping me? I don't have my curly in there. What's your name? We have basically the money out of our pocket and put on our backs.
Yeah.
That's all we got, so.
Okay.
You ready?
Not poetry, but I am artsy and creative. I am writing my children. I can still go along with the other songs that I have doing as creative, but I don't feel that I'm very creating my friends. I'm not sure if you're talking about your great Monday, Friday.
Really, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
looking for me, but it's not here. But yeah, my other friends like him.
Most of them, so for the ones that people sit with. Hey, welcome.
Hi.
You're from poetry?
I am.
Very cool.
Very
This is very happens, that's right.
That's fine. Are you saying this for me? I'm saying that for you. I'm hearing this speech. I don't know. I really don't. Margaret may not be back from Seattle. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, in either case, what's your last name, Jen?
Actually, Linda.
Oh, yes, but Margarita.
But I'm a leader.
That's right, yeah. I always want to make it happen because I want to quit. Yeah, that's what I should do.
Oh, God, that. Tuesday. 76.
Oh, 76, 76.
Yeah, I read for them 31. Okay. 86. We have time for class and maybe study. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to and then those are the only two things so far. Up to you.
Thank you.
It's just his little coffee shop and he's one that might be we're ready to really both of them on Thursday night. This is my first time, but I feel interested because one of them I want to go to maybe by next time like yeah. It's not no. It's not fun. It's not fun. I have no idea. I don't know what it is. It's not.
Well, thank you everybody for coming to Poetics. I'm kind of the host for tonight, so what is it? It's about 7:20. We're going to get the sign up sheet if anybody's here to read in about 2 minutes. If it's okay with you, I'm testing out our new webcast thing, so everybody can say hi. Say hello. Hi. Yeah, that's all blurry. So, because I'm hoping that a month or two, we might have a nice little poetry festival that I want to capture a lot of us on in May. So we'll see. Definitely want to talk to Kayla about it. It'll be very cool.
Congregational church. I really want to. It's been a thing, but it's been over. I start to yes. It's not getting there. Let's go downtown. No. Where is it?
It's like it's going downtown.
So if you decide you're going to move here, it's different from the one that like almost 2,000. Is that what's
Yeah, there's a lot of center, and it's that church is gonna take like an hour and a half. Probably
Is it in Corvallis or was it there's my house in Corvallis on the road in High City, is what I'm saying. I thought that was the, is it made sense? No, it's not Corvallis because it's, you know, you keep 100 on that for me? And then you saw like there's gas station. Yeah. So that one must go in something
Yeah, I have long legs, so we can get back to our session. Tall guy, like, I'm like in that video. Like, I want to be like in it the whole time. Yeah, it's a little leery, so.
You need like a cushion or
I'll figure it out. Yeah,
I think it's maybe.
there's something on that table that's not a sign up sheet. Last time I signed up in the middle of the page and they just put that one as number one because nobody signed up for me. They all signed up after me. I was like, nice. I put it in the middle for a reason. And then when they go first. Those creative types, they're always thinking outside the box. Yeah. That's how it was last year. Last month, there was nothing going on Friday night. So everything that everyone else was going to do was canceled. So a lot of people really around and about. Hi, Steve.
I'm nervous because last time I was drunk, so it was okay. Now I'm nervous because I'm sober. No, I think I'll be better. Like tonight morning, like I'm fine now. Last time I was a little bit like.
Oh, there it is.
Where's it going? I'll start with
Someone's got to break you guys.
It's just the first thing I got.
I'm gonna sit right here. Okay.
That's fun. Yeah, I like it. No, not really. I'm a deep thinker.
Poetics Corvallis welcomes you. Poetics Corvallis is a world renowned for its energy, innovation, and inspiration, and wishes to provide an environment where conference participants, or at least, well, tonight, poetry participants can engage in respectful dialogue. Poetics Corvallis unites thousands of poets, writers, and wonderful people from over, 50 blocks of Corvallis around the city to share their ideas, experience, and expertise. The views expressed by speakers and facilitators may be awesome, but may not necessarily reflect my points of view, but that's okay. I am just the man with the loudest voice. Oh, or the views of Oregon State University, because we are a community-oriented organization. We respectfully ask that each participant tonight help to hold all of us responsible for the following goals. 1, strive to maintain a safe and inclusive environment. Openly and honestly engage with one another. Ask questions. Actively listen. If you like something, do this. Help me out.
clap, yell, hoot, holler, say the F word, the S word, the T word, whichever one that is. And consider views that are different than our own, even if it is challenging for us to do so. 2, agree that equity pertains to all people with no exceptions. 3, respect that poets, writers, the audience, and the poetry environment, including its grounds, buildings, and property. 4, agree to be as considerate as possible. And 5, be mindful of gendered language. Strive to use you, all, everyone, y'all, people, or folks instead of you guys. Strive to use gender pronouns, she, he, ze, they, etc. for someone only if they've stated their preference. We've come together knowing that the community and its members grow when all voices are heard, when civility and respect. I ripped this off of the environmental conference, by the way. When everyone participates and is able to listen to other points of view. We know that the diversity and inclusiveness of this poetry reading are some of its greatest strengths. Thank you for choosing to be here. This is Poetics, Corvallis, and I will read one thing that I wrote the other night while I was home. Tonight I will sleep in my car. People who do not know their boundaries because you are one. They do not see until they are crossed, a line like the star held aloft amid an arrowhead arranged on the hood of my ex's Pontiac. I am still driving, living in it, sleeping in the silence. What do you say to the lover who will not speak? For hours, for days, for weeks, for what can you say to the child? Now carried by the crane, scraping anything that's left, grounding the cement to the sky, the clouds cannot speak to me now. We have the lovely Brenda Tully here. Give her a hand. We have a few people from Poetics, or at least one person from Poetics who was my poetry teacher, Linda Barcel Smith, who will be reading a little bit. We have a lot of respect in this room. The theme for last month has carried over in this month. That is the heart of Poetics. The heart of Poetics started out as a free-range idea of we would like to have more inclusiveness, and thus the rip-off statement of the legalese from the environmental conference, which I believe applies here. That our lovely host last month, who occupies this space, Nicole Marie, who is not here with us today, she will be back next month. She taught me something very precious when I said that we would like to promote an event that's centered around women, and she showed me an event that's centered around everyone, which is beautiful. And the fact that we have a full room here for the fourth time in a row, that's as high as I can count. Oh wait, there's 5. If we can make it 5, we're doing great. And in May, let's see, so next month we're going to have, what's her name? Dina Guzman from Portland. She's going to come. You know, Dina, she's awesome. Dina Guzman just finished a Kickstarter to become a beekeeper, and she's a poet. So keep that in mind as people are speaking up here, that there will be more speaking happening next month. And we might get the guy from Button Poetry. If you've seen any of the videos that have popped up on like Facebook or YouTube or cell phone, I forgot his name.
Dylan?
He has it. Yes.
Dylan Garrity.
Yeah, Dylan Garrity. Yeah, Dylan Garrity has said that he may show up. I have a feeling he might be checking out OSU. We want him to check out here because we are a community. We are not the university. We stand to represent ourselves and nobody else. This is a completely community-funded organization. If you would like to pay gas money to our lovely speakers, we have a tips chart over there. I have a couple posters left over from last month. If you'd like some incentives, so I give you something, you give us something, we give them money so they can make it home. So that said, who has the sign-up sheet? Where is the, oh, thank you. That's it. All right, Poetics. March 7th, 2014, open mic number 1. First up is Lee, and number 2, Nigel. So Lee's up first. Give him a hand and a nice compliment.
Thank you all for being here. I love you all.
We love you too.
Right. First one's a guy, so keep that in mind. I live in a clock tower right on the edge. Tick tock, my hair overgrown hedge. A hot shower pulled me right off the ledge. That I was a fledgling, being silent and proud. That I would implement my practices loud. Acting out, my actors is out. I pull battle axes for belts. Heavy metals must out, so pour me a beer. I like it hoppy, but blue moon is still there. No moon, shine over me, too soon for that fear. No plume, flash over, might make you my dear. Rolling on the curve, got me switching my gears. Listen in on what I can hear. Who's going to you out just to get a good look at your rear? Working the gym for a sweat, break the sweat out right here. Good evening, freezing. I'll show you some freezing. Out in the back seat is very evening. Wait till 3 in the morning to get the window steaming. From a ragged breathing, some people is dried on as if from instant. 6 minutes and I'm start, fantastic freaking weekend. I'm speaking at the party as a preacher. What all the goals is not for freaking. Why is the molly is not for breathing? Swift wind, my legs are shaking. Be patient while the ecstasy breaks in. White voidization. It's crazy when you keep food up and placing. You're the pencil aging. Honey laid on heavy like a tape. Work all servitude that you choose to slave. I was born yesterday. I don't have names for any of these, so just for one. R&B to the soul till I hit pop. My heart skip, the kick is gone wild. The strum of my strings or metals, they won't stop. Said if I ever grip a mic, it'll be great Scott. So maybe take a notch. I've been a brand kid that rolled on the block. About once a month, got rolled on my couch. Without fail, and the gold that I got, that's about mail. It'll still come because that's all we care for now. We all stuck here, so here, this in half. Blow every day, like chemtrails. Life is a gift, so inhale. I won't let it slip because I care. Lay down my life if you call, that's what promise hair. Do it for the love so that. Dirty love don't fair, only shift to the sticks, you'll be there. Better take time to think, life ain't fair. But you heard my words, so the gift isn't rare. I need to account for the fields in the home that we share. What's mine is yours, but compare. My experience is not for sale.
Oh.
Dramatic.
That's good. But it's still given to clear the air. To meet the one, to be a pair. A true beauty I would share. A garden I would make like hands and hair. When I'm stressed, I still got a heart to share. I'll be blessed if I can stay relevant anywhere. From my ancestors' memory, I feel the heavens stare. Alright, here's my last one. Been told by old folks I got an old soul. And the world is so cold with no hope. Keep your eyes on me. I'm talking to grown folks. Connect me with the energy of change, something that we don't know. Can't control me, I don't follow rules. Amen to the brothers who know me. Been okay with living lonely. Been a year since I had a woman to get me. Feel like I am feeling good to taking right here. It's all good, make room, living with some better years. Not afraid of letting hear. God knows he won't need fear. That's the therapy in reference. Before I decide on setting precedents. No respect for presidents who want to perpetuate excellence. Never getting questionings or ever showing any evidence. Most men were play, little bits of knowledge and bigger bits of stage. Lights of the Redeemer, still fame imagined of the saved. So money brings time. More money brings time. For mind in any range. Every concept can keep caged. Every contest context, who can con best, much more than who is better aged. I've been given everything and still despise this place. For all the bridges, too much is gone and more we got to waste. The sore sight at every sort and every short-sighted phase. Every night spent turning pages, pacing but where I flow with my furrowed gaze. For every step I make, keeping me on pace. Disgusted with TV because of the lack of national taste. You're all about scandal and being shameless. Point and blame, but you'll be blameless. I'm a walking dead, so I'll be nameless. I have broken bad, so before death, life is where the game is. But it's killer, so it's where the pain is. Experience. Get your fill, or you're just a filler for the sadist. Who will stick around to witness how the pain is.
Next up, we have Nigel, and after Nigel, we have Taylor, and after Taylor, we have Gene. So give it up for Nigel.
Wie kann ich mein Leben beschreiben? Es ist nicht möglich. Ich bin das Schmerze eines Körpers, das jeder Band in Tür durch nur Energie lernen muss. Es gibt keine Wörter für das. Oder es ist das vielleicht alle Wörter davor schon gibt. Es gibt nur Gefühle und das ist alles geben kann. Und wieso? Weil Sprache nur Status und Rolle gibt. Niemals gibt es mehr als Beschreibung und Verbindung. Nichts mehr wird jemals gesagt. So der Ton, den keiner versteht, dann versuche ich. Das ist Chaos und Chaos eben ist.
We have a quick little substitution. So it's Iris, and then Iris. After Iris is Taylor. So welcome, Iris.
Oh, sorry. Usually there's not that many people here. So I have a couple poems I'm going to read. The first one, a little background. I was able to work in the Duwamish River in Seattle with the Duwamish tribe, doing some restoration work, and they have a word in their language that they've given me permission to use called Utsi. And the meaning of Utsi is both language and river, because this work was interchangeable because of the different language dialects up and down the river. So they correlated with different languages, different sections of the river, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I said, do you mind if I write a poem about that? Yeah, sure, go ahead. So that's my poem. Let's see. The river bank like lips and edge to trade words across rocks like teeth. Cry water into sound, letters cut in spit and silk. Listen to opposites formed by mouth together on the tongue. Industry, trout, feathers, lead, progress, culture. Meaning swims in us like fish in clear ink. Wet your voice with rain. Bright dreams, longhand. Liquid letters, clear ink that ask questions. Buried along the shore. Shape-shift ideas. Sing salmon back wool to taste. Fresh and pink. Listen to the river, language you see. Then I have two short ones. So this one's called Memory. I do not remember or forget. I release memory and emotion, ties I return to you. One for mother, one for father, one for home. I am my mother, I am my father, I am my home. Replaced with pieces of what I have always had, what you could not take. I release this exchange of pain for pain. I release my heart to freedom, to love with trust. And then space between. So if I from the light between juniper branches twist like horns from deserted ground. Older than earth, this fire we parade safe in the dark.
All right. Next up is Taylor, and then Gene. Give it up for Taylor.
What's good, everybody? This is my first time doing this, but yeah.
Yeah, first timer.
It's called Fun Shop. To bite, to cut, to hug, to kiss. For the curve through the swing, I'm spaceman's bitch. I would assist, alas I can't. My blue eyes red, this shit is tough. Waiver on cool, regulators, not enough. Throat tight, game stuck, smoke cloud, police. Rid beliefs as if transcended. I rise above, only to sink malevolent. Left heaven with gold, hit the farm. Thank you.
We know our first timers, so thank you for coming. And here's a second timer. My friend Gene. Ready? All right. Go ahead for Gene.
Speak up for everybody.
I just have one tonight. It doesn't pour out of me like it does some of you. Gossamer strings shine in the cold morning light. This moment hangs by a silken thread. What a tangled web we wove, our hands intertwined, leaving fingers yearning, outstretched, grasping at straws. One tear runs down, gains momentum. A rivulet streams towards an ocean of sorrow, salted by exquisite pain. Bloodless wound, invisible scar. Sharp blade, clean cut. Pierce tender flesh. Rend body and soul. Beautiful, intricate fear, mirrored in your unwavering eyes.
Right. Well, we're ripping through this, so does anybody who just came want to sign up as quickly? Yes? Okay, here. Hey!
Okay. That is Odie's. That's her number.
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We've never had a guitarist.
Never?
No, this is all campus.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. It's already been half an hour. We've gone through half of our open mic. So, next up is Casey, and then Ty, and then we'll have a little break. So, come on up, Casey.
This poem is called Dissociative. Crooked they spoke and caught themselves in spiraling disposition bias. It begins, talk for temper, definition in the way he walks, like crack over the continent, defected by reality. He's drawn to hesitate. Locked, unpatterned. Betrayed by sweet frequency, she beats abnormality into a science. Her repetition is a delicate dance of warrant over worriment. Her teeth grind like clockwork, exposing decade-built cavities of poet rot. counting years down to a punctual, habituated appreciation of melody. Fox, he's called, set loose in the woods with magician's high and a hot handle on the white lie. Spelled out by a fear-tripped identity, trigger-sensitive, he wishes his parents favored rank. They, built in a body fit for it, generously unraveling by an instinct. They, who space their perspective by increments of comfort, cowardly turning face for face in rhythmic pretense, tenderly find themselves integrity, send guile encrypted limb, joint for joint, and join decadent disorder. I have one more. This one's called Moderation Strong. She sits on tabby cat haunches, taffy pulling a yawn, a peaceful rumble, taint wake, praying in the quiet, purring on the dawn. Wearily, carbon, gravitational junkie, tips off chain, down railroad bridge confession stops, pressing beat old knuckles, hook to temple, into Peter's fall. It would be so easy to follow. Orphan teasing, touch, dare, chronic temptation of the curious variety. Young intoxicants weigh warm in their nests of wire string, with a strong imprint of sensation. Humble human emphasis, rendering a sweet frequency woven beat by beat by and this lust for fear, blissfully counting the night in spark-fraught Nile, the symptom of a child with comatose overdose, waking, sunburned. Creatures of comfort who slumber with coffee breath promise, an edge of toast, tender, marked. And by morning she reels her talon, weeping in chilly dew for hours lost to dream, passing through.
Next up is I, and then I think we might bring up the musician and have a little bit of a break because I need to organize and get ready to present our Gaelic speakers. So, Ty.
Okay, last time I did this, I was wasted, and so there's like that I'm confident because I'm wasted. So now I'm like really fucking nervous. Okay. Yeah, I love you too.
Audience context. Audience context.
Okay. I call this one. I really title my poems, but I call it the right to take a piss. Okay. I can hold my piss for 4 hours, 4 periods of class, hour after hour, my eyes ticking back and forth, staring at the clock with my knees tightly clasped. Bells finally ring, a sweet release to let me leave this institution divided in two. I stand in the middle of boy and girl, a physical representation of all the nothing that I am. Blah, blah, blah. I watch as a million eyes trace me up and down like I'm some damn commodity, silently asking themselves what I am in their head, which box they can put me in. But they don't know, so even if they have me all boxed in, I already threw away the lids. And the other day, my friend told me someone said to her, gender-fluid people are such a small population, might make accommodations. But no matter how small a percent of the people, I'm still a face of this nation. Minority is not simultaneous with non-existent. Minority is not simultaneous with insignificant. And I look at this body that's been chained to the walls of confinement and expectations, producing the best products possible, losing myself in what others want to see. Some days I look at my own 2 hands and I don't believe they're mine. And congratulations, you feel like your body is yours. And you don't have to stress about opening those doors, worrying about what type of harassment you'd like to get just because you wanted to take a piss. One time, in the restroom, I made an old lady cry, with her Nordstrom's bag hanging over her back like a bat ready to swing. She kept yelling, "Get out of here, this is the wrong restroom," so I showed her my tits. And one time, I shut the door to a men's restroom, trying not to be seen. And with its trend of faggots getting killed late at night in gas station bathrooms, how do you expect me to not stand in the middle of ignorance and fear? And let me ask you the last time you felt brave. I can't even walk around without people judging what I have in between my legs. And how can you tell me I'm not real? Bound so tightly I can feel my ribs cracking, trying to breathe loudly enough for you to hear my cries. And I'm used to being the last on the list, the kid that doesn't get picked. But But instead of creating opposite teams and trying to determine which one it is I'm swinging for, why don't we create one team of humanity hitting home runs and not just for the score? Because if I'm for you over amber fields of grain, all I see is the sun losing its power. But my voice will ring like a broken opera of defiance. I will shout out from the middle until you see me as real, instead of lying there waiting for humanity to turn me back on. Because I'm tired of breaking my back on these beams, these lines drawn based on a blind society. Next time you're walking on those 2 feet that feel like yours, remember I'm still fighting for the right to take a piss, to open a fucking door. I'm going to trigger warning this, so anyone who's had any positive reviews, just trigger warning. Daddy knows best. With his head bowed in the symmetry of those church pews, but angels can tell when you are off balance. Tightly laced fingers can't hide the blood on your hands. Daddy knows best with the gospel on his lips as he hits me with his fist and prays for forgiveness, telling me it hurt him more than it hurt me, but he doesn't have any bruises. He was just doing his fatherly duty to punish me, in the name of a God I can never understand, because amen and fuck you were holding fucking hands. Yet I tried to walk the straight and narrow, trying to find this God, trying to pray and trying to please, trying to be the me you wanted me to be. Because Daddy knows best, and all I wanted was acceptance. To hold your hand without breaking, to sit on your lap without shaking, to not need your God to fucking save me. Because Daddy knows best. As he whispered, I do it because I love you. Love, a word that meant pain, love, a world written in vain. And through a child's eyes, I tried to understand how you could violate the sanctity of a sanctuary I had to build on my own. Because Daddy knows best, and the Bible is the key to a heaven you told me I don't belong in until I bent over your knee. Because Hebrews 12:11 and Proverbs 23:13 and Leviticus 18:22-23. And with the word of a Christ, you beat me until I saw light, and I wondered if that light would be the heaven. It was less about acceptance and more about the survival, walking on your broken pieces, trying to not get cut. But Daddy knows best, and soaked in holy water, trying to wash himself clean of monstrosity by reciting a Bible. But with his head bowed so low, I just never understood how he could even see the Lord. I just could never understand how God so loved the world, why the fuck did he create man? Lost me on the path of immorality, losing my religion. But don't worry, Daddy, I found religion on my own. The first time I went down on a girl was during her parents' Christmas party. She dragged me into her daddy's office. As I went down, I stared at the picture of Jesus hanging on her wall. I undid her buttons and my fingers found her. She grinded her nails into the couch and she screamed, holy fuck, my fingers baptized her, christened in her sweat, and in one breath, I was saved. And all the while, my eyes were watching God.
Get that energy rising. We're gonna have a musician. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. So 5 seconds. Say the dirtiest or the most crazy thing you can think of. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, where's the musician? You're up. Sarah Rain? Sarah Rain, everybody. Get Sarah Rain in.
Hello. Yeah, sure, since it's available. Why not? It's the front row center chair going to hello. I'm going to sing a song I wrote called Words Stop Me, Start Me.
All right, everybody, I'm going to make a powwow with the Gaelic people and our future poets, so take about 5 or 10 minutes, get yourself some coffee, do the voodoo that you do, and we'll be back. So thank you. Poetry, yes. Yes.
So, I don't speak too much German, but I come I watched the spider walk or something last full morning and do it on the yeah. Yeah, it's starting at some spider.
Yeah, that was I don't have marriage. No, not really. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry, you can say it's all in terms.
That's fabulous. You provide a good English producer.
No, there's a couple words that are talking.
So it's really functional.
Yeah, it's some people like wow, that's really good. You're like, oh, that's gonna be. Yeah, it's really weird because you can move like all the verbs and move around too. Like curious.
Oh my God.
Oh, is this a podcast? What are they? The charity.
Yeah, but there's like no place room there.
Sounds like he needs a coffee machine and I can get really cool. So if you just like at home, hang out with the switch and it comes out and you flip the cover on and you're like, I'm awesome. I have a poetry cover for my cushion. I sit on the floor
Yeah, I bought some of those videos, I turned around and like, it's so new, and I'm like, oh, that's a car. I always say, I bring back a baby for a while. No, I didn't, because I don't really like it. Nothing wrong, nothing was injured, you know, it's like, this is all about this. I need to know, you just tell me.
Exactly, yeah. Check your blind spots. That is true, yeah. And she stopped her car and got out of the car. Yeah, probably.
And they're just like, I'm sorry, right at home about scared. Yeah, there's something. Yeah. So I think I'm hearing you might think about something.
My best friend is 6'8". It's not a good conversation.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love
So it is my pleasure tonight to bring one of the finest institutions in Corvallis, an organization that I feel that's right. Everybody do this while I'm speaking. What is it? Is it Calyx Publishing? What's the official title? Calyx Press? Yeah, so Calyx Press has been around for well over 30 years. 38. We counted fingers and toes. 38 years. I have always been very envious of Calyx's ability to join together people. There's been a lot of books that Calyx has published, I believe, including the National, was it the Book Award winner? Mm-hmm. Yes, Mary Zebest, who I saw reading work the other night, and she's fabulous. We're going to try to get her back down here for us. So I would like to introduce Alicia, Casey, Bonnie, and Linda Marcel Smith, who will be reading a very short or long.
Very short.
Or a significantly long and short piece. And they're going to be talking about a little bit of the history of Calyx and their publisher, Margarita Dawn. So please welcome Calyx.
So that introduction pretty much summed us up. Started in 1976 here in Corvallis by a group of people who looked around at the publishing landscape and said, you know what? Women are not getting published. Women are not getting published at the same rates as men. Women's creative work is being relegated to genres, it still happens. I see you nodding, you know. So, yeah, red comedy, chick lit, whatever. So, BuzzFeed just had their Women at AWP and What Are You Tired of Being Asked thing, and it's that kind of thing. Where do you fit? What do you write about? Don't women and men just think the same thing, right? Yeah, exactly. So, Calyx was starting to address that, and we publish twice a year a Journal of Art and Literature by Women. This is our most recent edition. So the art, as you can see, is done in full, beautiful, high-end color. Let me go to a few pages.
You know, fancy schmancy. And we publish both poetry and prose, and we also do reviews. So, if you are interested in being involved in submitting and writing reviews, anything, I left a pile of my cards. They look exactly like the cover of this, because I used the art from our very nice artist who let me do that, on the table by the door. So grab one. That's my card, my email, our contact information. It's all on there. Check in with us. Check out our website. We're running a poetry contest right now. We run a flash fiction contest. That we originally started the flash fiction contest to publish for online content. And the first year we did it, the stuff was so good that we're putting it in the print journal. It's fun stuff. So that's who we are and what we do. And we want to just do we're going to do a very quick reading for you. We're going to do I'm calling it the long and the short of it. I have a poem here that was published in the second volume of Kayla's Press in 1977 by Sharon Olds. Yes, nodding, yes. Pulitzer-Prize, yeah. People know. Okay, we published a lot of the grades before they were great. Barbara Kingsolver is in this book. We published her very first poem. She still sends a little note every year saying, I remember you, it's so nice of you. Very first published piece, Kayla's Press. So, I'm going to read this, and then Casey is going to read you a piece from our upcoming journal, and we will take any questions or be around for a few minutes. The language of the brag. I have wanted excellence in the knife throw. I have wanted to use my exceptionally strong and accurate arms, and my straight posture and quick electric muscles, to achieve something at the center of a crowd. The blade piercing the dark bark deep, the haft slowly and heavily vibrating like the cock. I have wanted some epic use for my excellent body, some heroism, some American achievement beyond the ordinary for my extraordinary self. Magnetic and tensile, I have stood by the sandlot and watched the boys play. I have wanted courage. I have thought about fire and the crossing of waterfalls. I have dragged around, my belly big with cowardice and safety, my stool black with iron pills, my huge breasts oozing mucus, my legs swelling, my hands swelling, my face swelling and darkening, my hair falling out, my inner sex stabbed again and again with terrible pain, like a knife. I have lain down. I have lain down and sweated and shaken and passed blood and feces and water, and slowly, alone in the center of a circle, I have passed the new person out. And they have lifted the new person free of the act and wiped the new person free of that language of blood like praise all over the body. I have done what you wanted to do, Walt Whitman. Allen Ginsberg, I have done this thing. I and the other women with this exceptional act, with the exceptional heroic body, this giving birth, this glistening verb, I am putting my proud American boast right here with the others. Sharon Olds, 1977.
I love that poem. That poem is, really wonderful. So this is something from our most recent issue.
Upcoming. Not even been published yet.
Yeah. So in the works. What do we call that? In publishing.
In production.
In production. All right. So I'm reading Kathleen Landon's "Reading Little Women in the Red Maple in My Parents' Front Yard." Mothers of America, let your daughters climb trees. Let them risk the fall. Your girls, for whom gravity is only a theory, are resilient. They have not yet learned what is inevitable and what is not. Let them be bruised, bloodied, broken. You cannot keep them from it. We choose the means of our own breaking. Let them claim the freedom of being unseen, the ecstasy of perfect solitude, the stolen green hour. Let falling be your gift to them.
You have one more?
Well,
You guys want to hear one more?
Yeah.
I didn't bring my favorite funny one from the other community. That's too bad because we do publish kind of a, it feels like a lot of serious work, but
We'll have to bring you back.
there you go. All right, this one's good. Each day I open the door to damage. I dust, and the lampshade's glass erupts to shards that scar the floor. I scour my car, sponge brutish, cursive across its hull while tending the dogs. I let my laptop drown on a chair, on the deck, a day rain full. Corrosion sprouts like eerie moss, turquoise, winking from each crevasse. I am armed and killing with my care. Now you, still forming, your pink cup ears, just nerve-blind enough to hear my voice unbidden. Your skin's membrane, constant seething, wine, caffeine, hormones I down for our bound health, even the peroxide I poured to scrub the bath, protecting us from moldy blues. Moods, fears, shuddering doubt, so much your doorway can't keep out. My cells storm your little room. Emily Perez, and our most specific. So I would just like to thank Skylar and all of you for welcoming us here tonight, and I'm sure we'll see you at some more of these as time goes on. And again, my card is in the back. If you have any questions about publishing, about getting into the publishing world, etc., please email me, and we'll figure out something. So thank you.
Next up, this one is very special to me, near and dear to my heart. She taught me about writing in pictures. I will always remember the picture. I think it was like a swan or a goose with words in it. And I've tried, I've never been able to do it. The most I've done is words in a circle. For a page that I rotated around. So please put your hands together for a very lovely woman, Linda Barcel Smith.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been affiliated with Calyx for 31 of these 38 years. And I've read thousands and thousands of manuscripts until my eyes. I'll just read one. I have a couple of them. There's a lot of people here tonight. This is a recent poem. It's called Cosmic GPS. A robin bashed a reddish breast against the front window 3 times before perching on a holly bough. Below, smaller blackbirds float grass. Wings flutter frantically against glass, possibly pursuing a reflection of the holly tree the robin rested on. Birds navigate magnetic migrations with celestial cues to find landings. What led this robin to thrust its body in such futile pursuit? Are all conscious beings guided from another dimension with unseen creators filtering thoughts and actions into various parts of our brain? Are our bodies subject to cosmic directional systems beamed to us to perform until our equipment expires? How much independent thought do we generate? Many great minds rather channel it for their genius. Are we in some video game, cosmic experiment, entertainment or experiment, some computerized simulation? Are we pushing the controls for our other entities? Do we really have a soul in charge? Free will? The battering ram bird sits stunned on the branch. Dark birds swirl underneath like orbiting planets around a sun. Holly berries, the stars.
On this Brenda Tovey transplanted to Portland from Missoula, Montana in 2012. Her writing attempts to unravel the tangled knot of space, distance, and interpersonal relationships. Brenda had her first public reading in September 2012 through the Stone Soup reading series, which I believe is now called Ink Noise. Is that right? Ink Noise at the very, very, very cool. If you're in Portland, go to the Jade Lounge and check out Ink Noise. They are the coolest people. They came down for our first reading here at the INTERZONE, and we're going to try to bring them back. You now have a thing called Open
Door Enchantment.
Open Door Enchantment with the very lovely Camille Perry. Yes, Camille Perry was the first feature at the INTERZONE, along with, well, you kind of co-featured, and we had some very, very lovely poets from Hillsborough who came down. So Brenda, back to Brenda. She self-published her first chapbook, Dances with Bears and Other Ways to Lose a Limb, in June 2013. Her work has been accepted for publication in several online and literary magazines, including the Gobshite Quarterly, the Inflectionist Review, and Underground Books. She is the runner of the Open Enchantment. The pinnacle of her poetic career was petting Andrea Gibson's dog, Squash. She says, "So excited for this show. See you guys in a few weeks. Cheers." Give it up for Brenda.
We do a round of applause to Skylar for making this all happen. Like you said, I was here for the first show, or the first feature show, and this is 10 times what that was, and it was amazing. Congratulations. Oh, there's so many of you, and you're all so good looking, and I'm a little so poetry is this really intimate thing, and right now you guys are all strangers. So can we start with, I'm going to count to 3, and you just say, "Hi, my name is," and your name, I'll tell you mine, and we can know each other, and then we can get started. 1, 2, 3. Hi, my name is Skylar. Remember all of it. Okay. So this first bit here, I'm going to be reading out of my chapbook, Dances with Bears and Other Ways to Lose a Limb. This is a very well-loved, very scribbled-on copy, but if you're interested in one of your own that will be pristine-ish, I can hook you up, get with me after the show, we'll talk. Start with a love poem. Lovesick Penguin. Little flightless bird with your slick tuxedo and smooth torpedo body, why are you flapping your wings so desperately trying to fly? Don't you realize the ocean is a reflection of the sky? Try it, lover. Instead of getting high, let's go deeper, not sinking but careening breathlessly to the cusp of a new galaxy. Open your eyes. They're so used to crying, the salt water can't sting any more than the things we've already survived. You even know you're still holding your breath. Blow new futures into bubbles of reality with me. Come on, darling. Deep is here, and deeper just ahead. Panicked a little and rearranged everything right before I got up here, so you have to bear with me. On Missing, Part 1. This morning, I was buying an avocado in a store where your cells have never been, with the bright lights and the stale music and your remembered laughter swarming in ambush, and have you noticed how ripe the fruit has been this winter? I am amazed. I can eat an avocado without aching for your summer-flexed shoulders. But I can. I do. I am overwhelmed with missing you. You guys are going to pick up my theme here. These are mostly breakup poems. Phoenix. Let's set out sun comes up. Travel east or west until we run out of east or west. Let's drive this train wreck into the ocean. Hop a barge that will take us to a new state of being. Let's wash our sooty hands and faces, avoid the burnout places, and be grateful we made it out alive. I never meant to play the arson. Darling, I was thirsty for death, and you were the nearest bottle of gasoline. Twist off the top and slop you down my open throat. Wait for the spinning to stop. A child with a box of matches, I turned my insides to ashes and fancied myself Phoenix. Now I'm learning we can't always rise again. On the subject of friendly fire, I never meant to shoot you down. On Missing, Part 2. I'm sorry. I killed the African violet you gave me that summer. You almost believed in love again. You wanted to give me something purple, but hope was hard to come by that year. Nurturing is not my forte. There is too much gray here for green and growing things. Need you guys to stick around for the second time I'm up here so that I can pull you back out of this slump that was I sent a copy of this to my mom. And she called me that night and asked if I was okay and did I need Tequila Bones. I told you I loved you before I knew it was true. That summer smelled like cigarettes and cheap beer, like sweat and fear and lonely. I had been drunk every night for 6 months. The night we strapped your mattress to a Jeep. The night you asked to sleep in my bed, standing in my doorway, you were sad and lovely in a way that made me want to invent new words. Last winter, through a kitchen window that would never be ours, you showed me the place you used to smoke cigarettes in your underwear. Sometimes, late at night, I smoke cigarettes on my roof, feeling lonely for that girl I never knew. I want to tell her everything's going to be okay. I want to believe everything is going to be okay. 2 nights ago, the lights stretched below us, slow cars like sticky platelets gliding through the city's veins. We steered solar flares into our lungs, let smoke stun the swarm of truths trapped beneath our tongues. I didn't mean to laugh, but we are constantly halfway between tragedy and comedy. Yesterday, you held me like a baby while I wept, knees to chest, my face pressed into the crease of your neck. You asked me why I'll always choose the rain. And I can't explain except I keep hoping it will help me appreciate the sun. When I was young, I slept with my feet uncovered so I could run through my dreams. I'd cling to my bedpost so I never lost the way back. Now I sleep, holding on to the pieces of myself I'm most afraid of losing. Dig my fingertips into my own ribs as if I could knit myself back together. You told me you'll always be there when I need to find my way back. But you are not mine to look for anymore. Tomorrow, I will leave this town. And when the plane banks low over the snow-covered face of Mount Hood, I won't remember the way your forehead tastes every time I'm kissing you goodbye. Imagine me somewhere. Imagine me peaceful. Don't check in. I don't want to disappoint you again. I might call you home, and you call me best friend, but in the end, they are just different words for never. Tomorrow, I'll go back to the places that gravity feels lightest. I'll remember how to sleep again. Remember dreams without you in them. I used to laugh when you talked about going back to real life. Like somehow we could slip in and out of reality the way you put on a winter jacket to survive the worst of the cold. I'm not laughing anymore. Last year, in the winter tomb of your bedroom, you asked me what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm sorry I lied when I laughed and said See, I want to be a star, or the idea of a star, something you can wish on, a spinning supernova that implodes far away, and in its ultimate act of self-destruction, finally attains beauty. Guys, don't get missing part 3. We're going to go straight into Broken Sticks, which is the finale. My mind is a funhouse mirror. Distorted perceptions reflected in slow-moving water. I'm driving across the interstate bridge while lopsided moons lull mawkishly, looking the way I imagine Yellowstone smells, somehow dangerous, about to implode. The radio groans in a monotone drone, and the way roads always hum along the tire songs makes me lonely in a forgettable way. Like tomorrow, I'll be homesick for your name, but tonight the rain sounds like tidal waves triggering the tsunami brain. I could never be in the ocean, not drowning. I don't remember swimming naked that night, just our swollen saltwater bellies heavy with smoke, throwing up behind the dumpster, headrush hung suspended between city lights and stars. I'm thinking about you again, remembering poetry folded just so on my pillow, annotated with your thoughts. Oceans like bathwater making me thirsty for lakes. You always felt like deep, still water, something distant and fluid. Looking at you is like looking up from the bottom of a bathtub. I imagine you studying, drinking whiskey, kissing her, and I forget why any of this matters. Your ring has been on my lover's nightstand 4 days now. We are such reckless collectors of memory, totems and good luck charms, alongside the scars, alongside knotted strings and mood rings, the habits and the histories defining our humanity. Where the only constant is inconsistency, we are the sum of the things we believe. This is what I know. My kitten thinks I'm a superhero. My stomach thinks starvation is a hoax, but my heart knows you can't live swallowing ghosts. My room says I need to open a window. I didn't know my room knew the meaning of the word metaphor, but I guess I'm not surprised. You keep asking why I choose the ring, like that's a shameful thing. But tonight it feels okay. I've started leaving myself poetry folded just so on my pillow. I'm taping it to the wall above my bed, painting it into the red of my eyelids. I don't even know what I miss anymore. You smell like the rain, but taste like scar tissue. Listen, that one thing reminded me of you, and I hope you're still breathing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, oh yeah, I am so happy that we have pretty much the same turnout that we had last time, or more. I mean, this is amazing to see everybody here. So,
Thank you everyone for being here. If you want to support us, and if you want to support our lovely poet getting back home, we have Samara over there, and we have Nicole Marie right here. Please give her a
So I'm kind of half keeping with my tradition of writing my piece right before I go up. So I wrote half of this last night, so that half might be really like well constructed. The other half's like what? But yeah, exactly. 2 sides. So I'm continuing with my journey in yoga, and my favorite lady is Kali. She is fiery, she is rich, she is deep, she is mysterious, and she is scary as all hell. You don't want to go up against Kali if you've got a bone to pick with her. So she is a powerful person to have inside your face. So This is my dance with Kelly. Slipping into deep shavasana, I prepare for the journey ahead. Through many levels of consciousness, I will go, assimilating one after the other into my being as a whole. I start at the top of a bottomless well. In it, I can see my reflection, the same one that has looked back at me for years. With a feathery touch of my right finger, I ripple the surface of the water, and as the image distorts and loses shape, I slowly sink into a velvety darkness. Ahead lies a cavern where my subconscious has hidden the gift of correct perception, one of our connections with the divine. This jewel above all others will guide me faithfully on my path. It is my compass and my map. Plunging further into the enveloping darkness, my prize shines forward, reaching out for me, telling me I am ready, I am open. My chest bursting, ready to receive patience and understanding, breathless anticipation swelling in my heart, and I am bathed in light. I am ready, I am open, eyes now wide open, show me the way. Further down into the grimy, slimy, slithering pit of my core, its primordial ooze pulls and sticks to the things that splinter our hearts, gripping them so tightly, building dark energy, waiting for its call to do battle. This is Kali. It has been my dream to dance with this queen of the deep, to partner her and guide her sweeping steps of her feet, to draw inspiration from her passionate mothering. Though she is dark and can strike from my belly with hot anger and invisible intruders, she is mine. And with this new compass and map, we are unstoppable. And everyone will hear our cry, and upon hearing its undeniable clarity, will be moved to seek the darkness within themselves.
Give it up for the cow! That's what was not going to happen without you. Back with the open mic, we have, after the lovely Nicole, Tara, and then Emily. Did I get that right, Tara? It's you now. It was you then. Tara!
Okay, so I read it last time, and I feel like I was known for like a lot of like angry and hatefulness, and so I'm gonna keep with that theme. And I'm going to begin with the sample that I read last time, but I won't. It's a poem by Andrea Gibson, who I got to meet. Like, you guys put it out. Awesome. Oh. Yes. I got to meet her, and I was walking up to like you know, I had like all these things like set up in my head. I was like, wow, you know, like I love your poetry. I was so inspired. Wow, I read it. I had like an entire paragraph that memorized in my head. I walked up to her, and I was like, yeah, that was great. So
that's the best poem I've heard all night.
Okay, so I'm going to be reciting Walmart by Andrea Gibson because it's a very powerful piece, and I just want to trigger warning it because it does have a lot of like slurring. So if that's something you have a lot of experience with, it may be very upsetting to you, but I really appreciate it. So, yeah. It was the type of quiet that twitched like fire. Napalm silence. It was the tick, tick, tick before the bomb. I felt the bomb with a tick when they looked me over. The frontal lenses 5 feet thick, protecting me from the mutated glare. The mutated form that was one of their sweet little daughter. They wore their smiles like condoms. I put myself in the least viral form I could think of. Held up the cough and asked for a glass of water. Silence here. But in their eyes, signal to this little girl. And ain't no Messiah here is gonna go feed no leper. Silence. You're 25 years old. Where the fuck's your diamond ring? Silence. Oh, another picture. Like you're all scarred, so you got a mommy and daddy called him all about some bitch gone and broke your heart. You and your fucking car. I would have torn for myself years ago if I knew you used to put this family through hell. You guys like to say was you just fucking faggot. Do you mean it was like for us to walk through Walmart for the whole town knowing our daughters have faggots? You mean dyke? What? You mean dyke. And we've got a whole bunch of cock harness ready to prove it. You think I got 5 minutes to wait in the